Hello, everyone! Today we're going to be doing the Put Yourself First workshop. I hope everyone is having a ridiculously fantastic day today. Let me make sure that I have comments pulled up. Let me know if you can see and hear me, okay? Whoop! I need to mute my messenger while I'm live. Hi, Angela. Hope you're doing fabulous. Yeah, I tried something new today where I tagged everybody. Well, not everybody. I tagged like the first half of the people that are here in the group to see how it goes. This is going to drive me nuts the whole time. Jeez, I'm just going to change my headband. Oh. Just do this. New headband. Just go like this. There we go. So I'm not messing with my headband the entire freaking time. Hi. Hello, everybody. Yay. Thank you, Lauren, for the sound check. Awesome sauce. I have sound. I do have sound. Okay. Hi, Lauren. Hi, Deneen. Hi. I'm glad that you're here. Okay. I hope everyone's doing fabulous today. So we have had like a surge of new people come in, which makes me super excited. I'm like, new people to teach. So in case you don't know who I am, or if you have been chilling in the background in the group and haven't been in here recently, I'm Rachel Arazo. I'm the headmistress of the Crone Academy, and Crone's Magic Corner is my lovely community where I take everybody that want to learn intuitive divination, and maybe one day in the starry-eyed future they want to create amazing multi-figure businesses from it. I take them through the entire journey from maiden to crone, or if you're our dudes here in the group, because we've got some dudes from gentleman to sage, so that you can feel 1,000% confident in your practice and know how to do it in easy, fun ways and just make a living off of what you want to do if you choose to go that route. Awesome. We've got people popping in. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Tracy. Hi, guys. So today, we're going to be doing a workshop for does it make you a high and mighty biz bitch if you have your boundaries? And if you're a dude, you can also be a bitch. Just saying. Just saying. But it's all about that thing of, does it make you a incredibly horrible person if you want to tell somebody, no, I'm not doing this, or if you really try to respect your boundaries when it comes to prices, or even if you're doing this for free and you just want to be a free reader and no one wants to give you feedback. So we're going to be talking about a lot of this stuff. Yay! People are coming in! Hi, Lynn. Hi, Deborah. I hope you're doing fabulous. It's been a while since I've seen you. And if you're coming in and watching the replay, then go ahead and still say hello. Give me a hashtag replay or something. If you have questions that pop up, feel free and ask them as we go along. We're going to be here for a minute, I'm feeling like, because this is going to be, I feel like, an incredibly impactful workshop for you guys. No signups. Completely free. All of the awesome info that you can get right here on live. You can ask me questions and stuff. And let's see. And I don't plan on taking the replay down anytime soon, but I will let you know if I do. Let's see. I'm getting all my notes together. Make sure that we're good. Let's see. Technology. And I need to make sure that I am muting my inbox because I am getting floods of messages, which I love. It's like a love-hate relationship when it comes to my inbox nowadays, because I have so many people, so many students that shoot me messages and I'm like, yay, people, but then like, no, too many things. Okay, so something that we're going to cover today. Actually, hang on. Can I just... No, I can't mute it. I have to mute individual things. Okay. Settings. Nah. It's gonna do all that kind of stuff. So, today, what we're gonna be doing, we're going to break this down super, super easy for you when it comes to boundaries. Again, whether you are a maiden or a gentleman and you just want to do readings for a living or just want to get a hold of your intuitive practice, whether you're a mother or a father, where none of this is the genders kind of level. This is your experience level based off the mother, maiden, crone concept. So if you're a mother or father and you're just starting your business and you're having a really hard time with your boundaries, or if you've leveled up to the crone sage level and you're having a really rough time giving yourself new boundaries about things, when things have completely adapted in your business, right? Or things have shifted for you. So does that make sense? Let me know if that concept makes sense, because you can put yourself first and learn about your boundaries at really any stage in the game, whether you are brand new or you've been doing this for a little while, right? So let's see. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Amanda. Yay! People are coming in. This makes me super happy, because we're going to be going through what having really crap boundaries looks like in the first place, because sometimes we don't know if we have really bad boundaries. We're going to talk about how to twist around some of these statements that we might have about ourselves or about other people and their boundaries. We're going to talk about the most common objections that we'll hear from people, and how using our boundaries and staying true to ourselves, we can shift that around to make it a lot easier on us, right? Makes perfect understanding. Awesome sauce. You're awesome, Angela. Thank you so much. So, first off, why in the world are we talking about this? So, we have boundaries about everything in our life, right? There's some things that we aren't going to do and some things we are going to do. And this is on all kinds of levels. We are in a movement right now, in the United States at least, and actually the entire world, where not just women, but also men and people who are non-binary, and just whatever you believe that you believe. If you believe you're a rock, cool. You are discovering your boundaries and how you want to be seen in society, whether that means that you're getting married to who you want to get married to, where you can go to the bathroom, where you can shop, if you allow someone to touch you or not. We hear about boundaries all the time. And when it comes to you being a reader, you being something metaphysical and spiritual and a little bit woo-woo, you are going to have boundaries in a very strict kind of way. Because this is somebody coming into your space and your energy, right? I talk about all the time that all energy work is it's like we're all telephone poles. We are just sending out a signal to somebody, and it's like you're making a phone call to someone either across the world or right in front of you. And that's how we connect with people. And when we do that it's a very intimate kind of level. Intimate, not in the sexual kind of way, but it's a very, you know that person's energy now. You can feel them shift especially when you do this for a long time. And if you don't believe that tarot reading or being a psychic or anything like that is on that kind of level, cool. That's your perspective. I'm just letting you know mine. But it's a very intimate kind of thing. And when you're in that kind of space with somebody, it's almost like a therapist, only we're not therapists. Whether you do this professionally or you're doing this free. Okay. I'm getting messages. I will get to you guys in a moment. Oh my God. It's losing my train of thought when that stuff pops up. Boundaries! So, when this kind of stuff happens and you are connecting with someone on this kind of level, they're also getting to know you, but it's like you are a therapist without the license, right? And someone comes to know you on a very trusting kind of level. If they are reaching out to you for a reading, paid or not, they are being brave enough to say there is a problem that I need to talk to somebody about. And if you don't have very clear boundaries and expectations in place, again, this goes for people who don't want to do this professionally at all. If you just want to do this for yourselves, if you don't set those boundaries and expectations out, then it can become a bit of a problem. This is a person that will be invading your space, or an animal if you choose to do work with animals, things like that. So all of this is very important, right? So let's see. That's okay, Amanda. And that's okay, Tammy. Feel free to watch replays. Replays will be here. I am honored that you decided to pop up anyway. And I'm glad that you're here. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Janice. So what does it look like to have really bad boundaries, right? So, talking about my boundaries here, and I'm getting pop-ups, and Facebook won't let me turn it off. So, first off, you have one example of really bad boundaries if you're a little bit further in what you're doing for your business. If you have a business right now, you keep getting no-shows, so people who don't like to show up to either their calls with you, their video chats with you, that kind of stuff, or brain pickers, so people who ask you a billion questions on the call and just want to pick your brain for a minute and ask you all these questions like they would for questions they would ask a coach, but they don't pay you for it, and you just let it happen. You don't say anything about it, you just pull the cards and let it happen. So that's one thing. And then when you're first new to doing this kind of stuff, it can be really hard to say no, right? Because you just want to help people, especially if you believe that you being a reader is a gift that should be shared with the world. If you believe that it is like that, and you're really struggling with having that kind of equal energy exchange, whether that's someone gives you feedback, a testimonial, a review, they pay you for it, donation, whatever it is, you're going to have a hard time listening to this, because I firmly believe in equal energy exchange. And actually, even here in the group, if you advertise for anything in the group, or even if you show up and do a free live, or do a reading thread, I highly encourage that you do equal energy exchange to the point where it is a must, right? There are some groups that go ahead. You don't have to give feedback, but here in this group, you need to do that because it gets you in that practice. So that's one thing. If you allow no-shows and brain pickers to still happen, and it keeps happening and happening and happening. So that's one. And as we go through these, let me know if you have issues with any of this stuff. You can either tell me in hearts and likes and press a little button, or you can tell me in the comments below and let me know if you're having that problem, okay? So that's first. Second of all, it's if you get these clients that are somewhat okay, but they talk your ear off for half of the session about something completely off base. They're supposed to be getting a reading from you, and they're talking about something completely different from what they want the reading for. And you don't say anything. Or if you're a coach and someone is supposed to do a session with you and they just go on, the client is going on a tangent, and you don't stop them, you just let it happen. And they waste half of the time they paid for, right? So that's a second one, is if you just let this go. Because there's this fear of interrupting, right? It's like, they're supposed to be here and I'm supposed to help them, so I should sit here and I should be quiet, right? No, that is an issue with boundaries, with clearly stating this is why we are on this call, right? Same thing if you are doing free calls. Like if you like to do discovery calls like I do, and you don't set the clear expectation at the beginning of this is how long we're doing this for, and then you talk for 3 hours instead of 30 minutes. Bad boundaries. Number 3. Okay, so they book a call, reading, or chat with you through Messenger, saying that they're going to invest in you. Yes, they'll give you a testimonial. Yes, they'll give you feedback. Yes, they'll go ahead and buy this or give you a donation. And they don't do it, and you don't follow up. You just sit there and be mad. That's number 3 for bad boundaries. They disappear off the face of the planet and you don't say anything because you don't want to be a bother. You don't want to ask somebody for the sale. Okay? That's a really bad one. Number 4, you don't follow up at all with anybody. Once something is done, you don't do anything about it after that. You leave them hanging. Maybe you promised that you would do something and you never did it. And I know I have been both a victim of this and been a perpetrator of this, because sometimes you get busy and you just forget. You go on for months at a time and you don't do what you said that you would do, or you don't give as much quality as you promised that you were going to give. That's really bad boundaries, respecting of their boundaries, right? Number 5, if you are charging, okay, so I'm talking to my mothers and up here. If you're charging for readings, maybe $10, $20, $50 for a reading, and it takes you more than an hour to do it, but you're not going to raise your prices because you feel bad about it. You don't want to raise your prices because you feel like you're too expensive. You're not being affordable, right? So that's a really bad boundary one, because that's taking your time. I understand the reasoning for wanting to do it low, because if we are coming from the muggle market, okay, of our everyday jobs of working at a gas station or Mickey D's or call centers like I did, we are used to receiving a certain hourly rate. Here in Colorado, we are about $10 an hour now, okay? However, when we move into doing this kind of business for ourselves, or if we're being charged for ourselves, then there is an issue, because that is way under what the industry standard is, even just for readings. Same thing if you're selling physical products and you are charging way under what you're supposed to be charging. There's a problem, right? So, that's another one that we have here that needs to be shifted a little bit. Does this make sense so far? Or do these examples make sense for you so far? Let me know in the comments. See, Janice says, I need to watch the replay. Internet really wonky with the snow here in Arizona. That's okay. I saw that it snowed in Arizona. I'm used to Arizona being like in the hundreds. That's super funky. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Dee. Yes, cool. It makes sense. Awesome sauce. Something else about bad boundaries then, since this is making sense for you so far. And if it seriously isn't, pop a comment below and I'll walk you through it. I love questions. If a person messages you and says they want a reading, or they want a candle, or they want you to coach with them, or something like that, you drop everything. You put the baby down. You tell your spouse, nope, we can't go on a date. You don't allow yourself to go have your self-nurturing bath. You put your health aside, put literally everything aside to go do it. Like, if you drop everything and just go do it. You are at people's beck and call, that you have to be on your messenger or on whatever platform that you want to be on, and you have to answer them immediately, right? So that's a really bad boundary thing, because you're not respecting your time at all. And you're allowing the person messaging you to become a bit of an emotional vampire or a psychic vampire at that point. And it becomes very draining because you feel like you have to drop everything to go do what other people want. That's a problem. Another one, if a person messages you about a reading or a service, and you force yourself to sit and finish it in one go. Like, as soon as they give it to you, you say, yeah, I'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. And you force yourself to sit through it. That's a bad one. Because you are, like, it could get to the point where you're forcing yourself to not even go eat with your family, or go to the bathroom if you really have to, or sleep if it's in the middle of the night and you're tired and you're up like, no, I need to finish this reading, right? Really bad boundaries that needs to be fixed. Some more that are more minute. All of these have been pretty serious, like been actual examples from my own life and what I've seen other people deal with. But here's some that are a little lower. If you're feeling constantly drained and at the end of your rope when it comes to your readings, and you're just not looking forward to it anymore. Maybe it's to the point where you don't even want to touch your deck anymore because you're like, I can't touch it because that's for work. You doing readings for other people, it's not fun anymore. It's like a job, when in reality, this is supposed to be your escape. This is supposed to be something really safe for you. Uh, Another really minute one, more on an emotional level, you feel disappointed in who you are as a reader and feel like you can never connect with the client well, say the right things, or say them, even if it's, especially if it's bad news, you can't deliver it because you don't want to hurt their feelings, or you don't know if you're right. That's a bad boundary issue because you don't know where you end and where your client begins, or you don't know how to express in the right way how to talk to this person, right? Another one, if someone you care about wants something, whether that, and this is your friends, your family, if they want a reading from you or want anything from you, whether that's sex or money or your time or a reading or your service that you usually would charge for, especially my business people, you give in and don't say no, even if you don't want to, or if they convince you to give a discount and you don't want to give a discount, but you do it anyway because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Bad boundaries. You feel like a burden if you ask for help. That's another sign of bad boundaries. And then the last one is just this is more an extreme one again, but it's like on a physical, emotional level as well. If you have a physical tic that involves hurting yourself in some kind of way. So if you bite your nails, or you pick at your nail polish when you're upset, or you eat your cuticles, or you eat your hair, or you pick at your skin, or if you do something to yourself physically when you are upset, whether that's obsessively plucking your eyebrow hair, or brushing your hair like really vigorously. There's all kinds of different things that you could do this for. But the thing is, you take it out on yourself in some kind of physical way. If you are upset and someone is encroaching on your boundaries, if you notice that you have a tic, if you don't want to do something, then you start doing something to yourself. Like for me, if I'm stressed out and I am learning to not do this, I pick my cuticles. I don't pick my nails. I don't like biting my nails and stuff. I will pick my cuticles though. And I will be like this, messing with my cuticles if I'm upset about something, or if I'm anxious or something, or frustrated or nervous and things like that. I take it out on my body. That is a severe root issue, like root chakra issue. And that is where our boundaries start. Is down in our root, taking care of our physical self, putting up those walls, because our root is all about responsibilities and taking care of our day-to-day life, making sure we eat and sleep and stuff. This is something that we have developed from like second trimester gestation inside of our mothers, because all of us got a mother. We were born in some kind of way, and up to a year old. So this is breathing, or eating, or sleeping, or going to the bathroom. We had to teach ourselves how to do this. Some of us, it's a lot harder than others, especially if we had trauma and stress and things like that, right? So if you do something physical to yourself that maybe you've done it your entire life and it's just a tic that you've started to notice, that is an issue of bad boundaries from when you were a baby. And you have to, if all of these kinds of things, this is something to work on. Even if one of these things applies to you, then that you have some boundary stuff to work on. If none of these do, cool. You're awesome. And then we can just move on to help you with this. Or make your boundaries even better and solidify it. But I'm betting at least one of these matches with you guys, right? Let's see. Pamela says, oh, I get like that. I don't want to touch my deck. Yeah, me too. I've gotten that way. For the longest time when I had really bad boundaries in my business, I did not want to touch my decks. It's for work. I don't use it for myself. And I'm the tarot reading teacher. I'm supposed to be teaching you guys how to read intuitively and do this for a living. And I don't want to touch my cards unless it's for work or I'm getting paid for it. That's really shit. Right? It turned into every new deck that I was looking at. I was thinking about how I'd use that in my business. Or every deck that I had, I'd take new pictures of it so I could sell stuff. It was really rough. And that was a sign of really bad boundaries on my part. Let's see, Lynn says the readings where it's about love and you see it's not good and they don't want to know that. Yeah, so that's doing a reading for somebody, whether it's paid or it's free, and you don't want to tell them that it's not going to work out, so you tell them, in a few weeks maybe, or in a couple of months, things like that. You want to gently tell them. That's really bad boundaries, right? So, because it goes against the platinum rule. I like following the platinum rule for my readings and for customer service because we are in such a intimate kind of environment with other people and their energy, right? So, and the platinum rule, in case you don't know, it's not do unto others as they do to you, which is the golden rule. Do unto others as they would want to do for themselves. So, treat others how they want to be treated. The platinum rule. That's how you get amazing customer service, and that's how you get people coming back, right? And if you don't let people know whether they want to hear it or not, they would want to know, honestly, what's happening, right? So if you don't do it, it makes it a little hard, right? Lynn says it usually says they need to work on themselves at their time. Yeah, and that can be really hard, especially if they've heard it over and over and over again. Now, Heidi said, made it late. That's okay. I'm happy that you're here. You showed up. That's okay. Time is a man-made thing. Okay, so you're all good. Now, the thing about all of these boundaries, is if we don't realize that we're doing some of these things and that we have some stuff that's wrong, in the practices that we're doing, this can end up in a couple of different things. You can become really resentful of the people that you want to do this for. Again, whether this is free or paid. I'm going to call them your clients because that's what they are. It's equal energy exchange. You're sitting there having a conversation with somebody on a really intimate kind of level. So I'm going to call them your clients, whether you're free or not. So if you can become really resentful of your clients, especially the freebie seekers and the brain pickers, because you don't want to work with anybody anymore because you're afraid that they're not going to do anything, right? Why am I going to put myself out there if nothing is ever going to come back to me? It causes resentment. And it makes you not enjoy this anymore. You put down the cards and you don't ever want to pick them up again. Or if you aren't into cards, then you don't want to pick up the bones again, or the runes, or the tea leaves, or any of that kind of stuff because it makes you mad, right? This creates energy vampires out of people. So these are people that drain your energy. And they might not know that they're doing it, right? But if you do not set clear boundaries from the get-go, you're enabling them to do that. You're allowing them to keep that bad habit and think that this is okay to treat you. So, for example, for this, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago about, there was a client that I had a few years ago that I enabled into being an energy vampire for me. I did almost everything on this list. If she sent me a message, no matter what I was doing, I had to drop it and I had to give her a reading, even if that's not what she was paying for. I was severely undercharging myself. I talked to her a lot. I would say she got 10 to 20 readings a month for $100 only. She didn't pay me individually each time. That was her reading package. It was $100 a month. I used every modality in the toolbook. I did spells for her. I did all kinds of stuff to try and make her happy, and I got mad at myself when things didn't go the way that I saw the cards going. She never got mad at me, but there was that kind of little pill of resentment in the background because what I said was going to happen wasn't happening. There were too many things happening at once, too many variables going on that sometimes she wasn't honest with me about, but I didn't set that boundary with her, right? Sometimes because different time zones, she would message me in the middle of the night. And I would listen. I'd get up. I'd be tired. I had a child that was about to turn 2. I was exhausted. I was struggling with my own personal issues, like health-wise. And I was just letting it happen. I didn't tell her no. And it took me a long time to say no, and to break up with that client. And if you are feeling this way and you are having a really hard time in general just telling people no, or standing by what you say the cards mean and not looking up a billion different websites and a billion different books and asking for constant clarification about it and you haven't figured it out yourself, if you're having a hard time with this, then you have some boundary issues that we really want to work on. Because when you do that, it's like you're taking your personal power back. You get a little bit more of an energy boost. You enjoy having your readings again. You enjoy working with new people. You understand that you are just extending invitations when you're following up with people and doing the platinum rule both ways. They said that they were going to work with you or that they would send you something, so you follow up and see how they're doing. You start treating people how you want to be treated, how they want to be treated, and they will do the exact same way back to you because you put those boundaries up, right? So, there's a few ways that we can flip this around. Let me know so far if I still have you, if you're understanding what it looks like, or some scenarios that could be running through your head or that you've gone through where you have poor boundaries. Give me hearts and likes if so, or you just pop in the chat and tell me that I'm good. Because I want to make sure that everybody understands. Got it. Cool. Awesome sauce. I've got my witchy like shawl on today. So I'm just like, oh, magical. Awesome. Got one, got it. I'm going to assume everybody else is good. If you aren't good and you're confused as hell, please pop a comment and tell me. Let's see. Lynn says, friends that message late at night and drop hints for readings. Yeah. And if you are not okay with that, especially if you're doing it professionally, that should not be happening anymore. Hello again, Brenda. Okay. So, here's some things that we can flip around, right? Some of these situations that you can get started on today, if someone were to message your inbox right now and work on your boundaries. We're going to start on the really little level, things that you can do for yourself, and then we're going to get really specific with certain situations. Okay, so first off is setting up a schedule. Whether you do this for free, again, whether you do it for free or whether you do it paid, you need to set up a time that you are going to take reading requests or take service requests or do orders for your products, no matter what level that you're at. If you set up a window of time where you are going to do this and you stick to it, that creates consistency. So people are good with consistency. They enjoy consistency. It makes you predictable, okay? And they will know when they come in. When you set up a schedule, then that also creates a habit for yourself. Coming from the true creature of habit, I love my tendencies for habit, okay? Everything, if it's not so much being a stickler about everything being in its place, but really sticking to those times and sticking to your commitments. Because then this keeps you from double booking people, which is incredibly unprofessional, whether it's free or not. It's incredibly unprofessional. It doesn't make you consistent. And it keeps you from being really confused about what you're doing. So if you are a new entrepreneur and you have not figured out your schedule yet, your hours when you're working, and included time off for yourself, days that you aren't working, you need to do it. That is going to set some really strict boundaries for yourself. I know this was really hard for me in the beginning, which, by the way, I am going to suggest that you do these things. I'm not your mother, no matter how motherly I am. I can't force you to do anything if you don't want to do it. But if you take my suggestions and start doing it, you're going to start seeing immediate results, not just in your energy, but the people that you start attracting. Because this is going to keep you keep hearing that thing of, I want ideal clients and I want to attract my soulmate clients. This is how you do it. By first setting up your boundaries and getting a really good foundation in your root, in yourself energetically, and in your physical life. Okay? So, if you have not made a schedule yet and started sticking to it, do it. This is really hard for people who work at home and do this professionally for a living, is setting up their schedule for the first time. Because I get it, you're working from home, family might not take you seriously that you're busy because you're working certain hours, right? That they can't come knock on your door or come into your house during a certain time period because you're busy, right? I totally get it. I did that even when I was working from home and was not doing this for a living, okay? But if you start doing it, it's going to keep you from staying up in the middle of the night and answering people's questions. It's going to keep people from barging in on you during your work hours. Like, if you have to have a separate room where you're like, nope, screw this, you can't do this. You can't come in here. Even if there's no door, no, you can't go in here because I'm working right now. Set that boundary and it'll be so much easier for you, okay? So physically start doing that first. Block out your time. When I did this, I was finally rested. I wasn't up till 2 a.m. working on the hotlines anymore. Okay? This was me putting an automated message on Facebook, on my Facebook page, saying, hey, I will get back to you as soon as I can. However, especially if you're reaching me outside of business hours, you're not going to hear from me until these times. It made me predictable. Okay? And it made it so people knew what to expect. Don't message me unless you want to talk to me during my business hours. Okay? It made it very consistent. So start there first with yourself. Second thing to start with boundaries. This whole workshop is called putting yourself first, right? It doesn't make you a bitch to say, I'm not talking to you until I've eaten today. Or until I've gone to the bathroom. Like, if you are one of those people, I've been guilty of this, but we're going to stop this habit. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning is pick up your phone and check your email. Or answer client questions, and you haven't even gotten out of bed yet. You haven't gone to the bathroom, you haven't taken your multivitamins and brushed your teeth, you haven't brushed your hair or taken a shower or eaten and had your honeycomb yet this morning. Start making it a boundary for yourself. I highly, seriously suggest make it a boundary for yourself of I'm not touching my business until a certain time or until I have done a certain list of actions. For me, I wake up, I go to the bathroom, I do my daily pages, 3 pages every day. Maybe I get in my daily draw that day. Depends on if little person wakes up before I do. I get breakfast, because at the same time I'm getting her breakfast. I fill up my water bottle. Boom. Give little person a kiss. Give hubby a kiss. Say I love you to both. Come in the room, close the door. Then I check my inbox and check Facebook. Then I run through my to-do list that I'm doing for the day. Force yourself to at least get out of bed and go pee first, okay? Start doing this. Let's see. Lynn said, right now I can say Rachel said no. Yes. If you have to borrow my bravery for a little bit, then please do. Lynn says, you don't see me, do you? Nope. Nope, I'm just psychic like that. And because you're literally like me, where I used to do that all the time. And I get it, it's a hard habit to break, especially because we're in such a technological, kind of society right now. But their crisis will be fine for another 10, 15 minutes before I can get up and go to the bathroom. Okay? Or if I want to lay there and hug my husband without having my phone on me. And I'm like looking over his shoulder at my phone, right? I can put that aside and have some adult loving time without technology involved. Or clients messaging me saying that they're having a crisis right now. They can wait a few minutes. I'm busy. This sets that expectation. You got a life. You have things to do outside of what you're doing for the day, right? That's my morning. Yep. So let's start shifting that. I would highly suggest that you start shifting that because that's how you're going to get people to treat your boundaries a hell of a lot better. Some other things when it comes to boundaries. It can be very simple things such as turning your phone off. That can be really hard, especially if you are in a desperation mode and you need the money and you're waiting for someone to get back to you. turning your phone off or putting it on silent or something. I have been very tempted to even delete the Facebook app, because if I go into my Facebook, where I used to come to relax and scroll through things, it's nothing but business stuff for me now. So I'm like on that borderline of, nope, I'm going to turn this off. I have turned off the ringer and the notifications for the Facebook app to let me know when someone sent me something. The only Facebook notifications I get are my Messenger. And I'm actually even tempted to turn that mess off too. I don't want to see it unless I go in the app. Like, if you do those kinds of things, especially when you're supposed to be working, it's going to help you be more focused, and you're not going to be all over the place and freaking the hell out. You're going to be really streamlined. So, that can be something to really help you. Put it on Do Not Disturb. Turn off the phone or delete the apps entirely from your phone and only do stuff from the computer. That will help you. Because think about it this way. If you were doing this as a 9 to 5 and going to work as a tarot reader in some kind of office building, when you close the door, when you turn off your computer at work and you leave it there, you can't touch any of that stuff. It's company policy. You can't take that stuff home with you. And if you can take that stuff home with you, you can only do it during designated business hours. Like when I worked at Amazon, they sent me a computer that only was allowed Amazon stuff on it. I couldn't do that from my actual computer. Why can't your business, speaking to my mothers, my crones, my fathers, and my sages, why can't you do that for yourself as a home business owner? Please turn it off. Just delete it. Hi, Megan. I hope you're doing awesome. Lynn says, yep, turn that off too. Good. Good. Wonderful habit. So now we're going to start getting into some scenarios. Or what are some ways, before we even touch that, for the people in the chat, let me know what are some other ways that you could set your boundaries just for yourself in your physical environment. Is that doing what I do and putting your branding behind you and saying, this is my space, and let that consistently be where you go live from? Is it having a desk to actually put your stuff in? Is it getting a camera? That way you have designated that, yes, I am doing live streams because I bought this stupid camera and I'm going to do them. Is it making sure your place is clean? Because that's going to be an excuse for you. What are you going to do for boundaries? Let's see. And if you're feeling brave enough, go ahead and pop them in the comments for me. I would love to see them. And I want to reiterate, this group is a really safe space. No judgment space. If you setting your boundaries in the morning, if you can't wake up without a quick orgasm, go for it. Like, if that's what you need to do to get ready for the day, go for it. I need a camera. Okay. So maybe that's one of your boundaries. Like that, I am only going to do live streams from my camera. I am not doing them anywhere else, so I'm not going to be tempted to do that because I'm not at work. That camera is only reserved for work. Let me see. There's like a 30-second delay with Facebook. Who's gonna be brave? Who's gonna get brownie points for the day and like be brave and mention something that they're gonna do for their boundaries? If you have no clue, then tell me no clue. Hi, Pamela. Lynn says, I actually asked my son to call me this morning, day off of Muggle job, so I would not wake up and look at phone stuff. Good. Good. Megan, and to keep practice reading my cards. Yes, that is a wonderful boundary. Make that a part of your practice. Do what you do for a living for yourself, right? If you're a baker for a living and maybe you scry some tea leaves and discover the kind of cake that the person needs to have with their tea, and you bake the cake, bake your own cake for yourself, please. That would actually be a really cool concept. Someone steal that from me. Because someone take that concept. Because I would go to your cafe if you did that. I'm not getting a hubby and kids. Okay. Boundaries. Okay, so this is not what I'm doing. Like, Not gonna have it. And if that has to be your boundary so you stick to that stuff, cool. That's your boundary. My cake. Yes! Do it! Take my concept. That'd be super cool. I'll go to your cafe and we'll have fun, and I'll probably sit there all day because I love tea and cake. Awesome. So, here's some things that you might have issues with. Like, and again, this is from Maiden to Crone, Gentleman to Sage. I'm going to reiterate that like a billion times so you can get it through your head. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're doing this free or paid. This matters for you. I'm going to reiterate it like a gazillion times. Yes, love your energy. Oh, thank you. I'm feeling yellow today. I've got my yellow shirt on. I've got some really like comfy pants on. Took a shower today. That was part of my boundaries. So I'm glad that you're enjoying it. So we're going to go through a couple of these things and see what we can do to shift the boundaries about these statements. And if you have an issue with this statement, seriously, let me know in the comments and we will work our way through it, okay? So one of them, if you have an issue asking for money, asking someone to pay you, I used to be a culprit of this. If they have to say, how much is your stuff? Okay. That's kind of cool. And all you're doing is explaining why it's the price and you haven't sent them the link yet to pay you, or you haven't like held out your hand and been like, give me the cash. Like, if you haven't done that yet and it's taking you forever and the person is like, okay, well, never mind, I guess. And they leave because you've taken forever to ask for the sale. There's a boundary problem. There's an issue with you receiving. We've talked about this in the when was the last time you had an orgasm talk that I did a couple weeks ago. If you want to see that, let me know. I'll write your name down and I'll go tag you in it. Because you have an issue with receiving if you have a hard time asking people for money. I had to train myself how to flip out of this. Or that if someone paid for it, I would sit around and wait for them. I had to get really strict. This included refunds. I have a no refund policy now because I've been on the hotlines where sometimes they'll say that it did not resonate when really the conversation went really well. I answered all their questions. They were good. Or I've sat there and had a reading with them and they pretended to be another person to try and troll me. They're like, oh, you're not really accurate. I'm not this person. I'm like, this is my living. You're like, you're screwing with my child's Pampers money. Like, can you not do this? If you want to sit there and troll me for a while, cool. But I'm charging you for it. And that's the only reason I'm going to sit here. You know? So if you have a hard time asking for the money or sticking to it, when someone has said that they will pay for something and you've sent the invoice and they haven't paid for it, or issues with money, you have a receiving problem. We need to set your boundaries with that. Let me see. I'm all ears. Yes, Megan. You're awesome, Megan. Pamela says, oh my God, this is the one I'm working on. Money telling prices. Yeah, a lot of people are having issues with this, so that's why we're doing it first. Heidi said, you should probably link me for that, please. Let me know what you're talking about. I know we had a session together, but message me, let me know what you're talking about, Heidi, and I'll shoot you a message after this. Megan says, because they didn't like the info they received, they're not receptive. Exactly, and that's not their problem. That's not your problem, is it? No, it's not. I had a really wonderful discovery call this week. I had a tea chat. I like having tea chats with you guys. With somebody this week that was severely undercharging. So I'm going to rock your world a little bit like I know I rock their world. Industry standard for us, for readers, okay? I'm going to say readers. If you sell physical products, that's something completely different for pricing. There is a base market for industry standard, but that's different. Coaches, same thing. There's an industry standard, but it's a little bit different for you. For my readers, because of the way that the hotlines are, and the fact that when people think of getting a reading done, they're thinking of being charged by the minute. The hotlines, lowest is $1.99 a minute. I'm going to do some math for you real quick. $1.99. Let's assume times, let's assume that you have an hour reading at $1.99 a minute. The magic to the computer to work. Let's see. I want to say 80-ish. No, that's $119 industry standard for an hour reading. That's what someone is getting paid on the hotlines for $1.99 a minute. Not including fees and, their commission and stuff like that. But that is how much you are charging on the hotlines if you are $1.99 a minute on their website. That's how much they have paid the website to work with you. If you are not charging at least $1.99 a minute, and you're having a hard time asking for the sale, we got a problem. I understand it's because we live in a society where they pay you $10 an hour, $12 an hour. We are used to severely being underappreciated and undercharging ourselves because of the industry standard of where we live. I totally get it. However, we all know those aren't living rates. Okay? You cannot survive and have a 2-bedroom apartment for $10 an hour. You cannot do it. You'd have to take more than one job, right? If you are not charging $1.99 a minute, I want to rock your world right now and say that you need to start. And if someone says why, because that's my price. And I'm actually cheaper than industry standard if you say that it's $1.99 a minute. Mine's usually $4.99 when I'm doing readings. Usually. If I like you, I'll do a little bit lower. And not if I like you, but if it's an offer that I've had out there for a while, like my palm readings, they're $147 at half hour for a half hour video reading. That's what I charge. For tarot readings, it's $114 an hour, $114 a half hour now, every 30 minutes. So, I'm going to be talking here. I got to get a charger. If you are not charging yourself this, and you're a reader, and you want to have a business, at least start yourself off on this rate. And if someone asks you why, because it's industry standard, and I'm actually below industry standard. It's actually a little bit higher. It's usually more like $2.99, $3.99 a minute. Okay? And if you want the same priced reading from somebody, go ahead, go check the hotlines. There are a lot of people that are like me. Okay? That's what people are basing it off. Let me see. Let's see. Nice. $2 a minute, roughly. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Hi, Celine. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hello. Pamela says, I just had to tell someone my prices and it sent me into a spiral of panic. I recentered myself and looked at my pricing and also checked my pendulum and ended up reconfirming what my prices are for myself. I made a package deal for her because she's my best client and it was totally a non-issue and she booked a package for the 3 pet clients. Awesome. Yeah. If it is a really good client and they're getting a package from you, you can totally amp it up. You can totally fill it out. However, if you're going to spend at least an hour on this and you have not figured out your package stuff yet, I want you to really consider this rate as a minimum. Now, physical product people, my makers in here that use your intuition to make physical products, it's going to depend on how many hours you put into the product. It's going to depend on the industry standard for what you are specifically making. Candles are going to be a different type of price, especially handmade, and the amount of wax that you're using versus malas. It's going to be a little bit different, right? Malas, are you using real beads or are you using little plastic ones? Are you popping crystals on that mess? Which most likely you are. You need to be charging those crystal prices, right? And if you lose people because they aren't at your price, if they say, no, it's too much money for me, I'm going to talk to you about that a little bit when we talk about the top reasons that people won't sign with you or the top objections that you'll get. And if even after that, if you lose them, fine. All you're doing, if you are leveling yourself up from those $10, $20, $50 readings, all you are doing is leveling yourself up to brand new people that will be paying your stuff. Okay? So think about it in that kind of way. You lose somebody, you're going to get more no's at first, especially when you first change your prices, than you will yeses. But when people start to see that you consistently ask for that price, it will be okay. They will know to expect that, right? Let's see. Heidi says, amen, underappreciated. So don't treat yourself like a big corporation. You are the CEO. Get paid what the CEOs get paid. Okay? Megan says, no negotiations. Yes, no negotiation prices. See, because that's my price. Yes. Heidi says, I would want to make sure that you enjoy that client before doing the package deals. And that's what we talked about. Having your tier offers, having more than one offer. Usually you want to sell out the top one, but if you feel like that person, their energy isn't meshing with you good, that's when you do sales calls. That's when you talk to them on the phone first and see where you would want to put them. That's what you would do first. Okay, so very good points. All right, here's another one. Here's a block. Telling people, know that I can't help you when you need the money or you really want to help. Okay. This is a rough one, right? If someone comes to you for a reading and saying, no, I can't help you. Or coaches, sometimes we have a hard time with this for coaches, where they're like, I need help making an ad funnel. Okay, I can't help you, I'm sorry. I can recommend someone, but I don't do that. That's honestly, I don't help you with ads. Don't come to me for ads. I don't use ads on myself. I do my stuff organically. I can teach you how to organically do it, but I can't teach you how to do it with ads. Or if someone were to come to me and say, I want you to teach me how to sell out convention centers. Okay, I can teach you how to book it. I can teach you how to advertise it. That kind of stuff. I could kind of help with that, but we need to see where you're starting from first. Because depending on what your market is and how you help people, if you're not in the spiritual niche, I really can't help you. Right? So that's some things to mention. Right? But if you have somebody that comes to you and they want a reading on, another example, same client that I had to break up with, right? She wanted a really intensive health reading. Told her, I'm sorry, but because there's so many variables here, and in the back of my brain, I'm saying, I don't see any chance, even logically, and my intuition is like, yeah, no, it's not happening. I'm sorry, I can't do this reading for you. I appreciate that you thought of me and that you reached out to me and you really wanted me to be the one to give you the message. However, morally, ethically, I cannot do this. Okay, set this boundary as good standard. A lot of the hotlines and a lot of readers out there refuse to do health readings. There's too many variables involved. No health readings, no money readings, nothing legal, no gambling, stuff like that. None of that kind of stuff. And if you need to set those boundaries for yourself, okay, that's fine. If you are a reader that does not like love readings, figure out specifically what kind of love readings you don't like. Because usually we say we don't like love readings because of the kind of people that you get with them. Okay, so that means you need to up your prices to get rid of those people, or you need to get really specific about the kind of love reading you don't want to do. And then when presented with that, you say, I'm sorry, I don't do those kind of love readings. However, I can help you. So like, for example, if you have a person that says, like if someone were to come up to me and say, I want to know the hair color, shoe size, and age of my soulmate, and I want to know if in 2 years they will be walking down the street with a red balloon in their hand, so that I know that that's how I'm your soulmate. First of all, I'm really honored that you think that I could tell you all those details, because that's freaking phenomenal. And if you feel like I'm that amazing, that boosts my ego quite a bit. However, what if your soulmate is carrying a blue balloon? And you have completely limited yourself just because you want a red one. I am not going to give you a reading on this because I feel like our energies do not match. And we are not going to mesh on this. However, if you do want to have a love reading on, do you have your soulmate in your life currently? What can you do to make sure the relationship is the best that it can be? And how to clear any trauma that you've had from past relationships? Come talk to me. I have a love reading for that. That's my palm readings. I can do that. So That's a way to turn it around if someone were to go ahead and confront me with that. Learn your limitations, set your boundaries on the kind of readings you're going to give, and it's going to make that question so much easier. And if they say, why not? You tell them why. Be incredibly honest. Like, I'm not doing this because I do not feel comfortable giving those kinds of readings. However, if you want this kind of reading, I'm more than happy to help you out. Okay? Does that make sense? Let me see. Megan, I'm not a doctor. Yes, I'm not a doctor. Please don't come to me for your health questions. I'm not going to say I'm sorry if you are dealing with X amount of health issue here, because I feel like you hear that from everyone. However, I appreciate and I am very honored that you feel brave enough to tell me that you have this and the struggles you're going through. Because this is such a delicate situation and I am not a licensed medical practitioner, I do not feel comfortable doing this kind of reading. Okay? If you would like some help with the symptoms of what you are doing, or to help along with the treatment, and you understand that it is not going to solve your problem, and I am not a licensed medical professional, I can help you with a Reiki healing and a reading. However, if you don't want that, then you might need to go find somebody who is a licensed medical professional who does readings. Boom! Done. Go for it. Let's see, Heidi said, could you cite the rules refusal categories again? Yes. So, typically it's medical reasons, no medical questions. That includes pregnancy questions. They don't like those. No gambling. No legal stuff. No suicide. Prediction of death. Stuff like that. That you would need to talk to a licensed medical professional or a licensed psychiatric professional. Or a legal representative for. Stuff that could be legal implications, not gonna go ahead and do readings on those. Strictly readings, we are in a luxury category. We are a luxury item giving readings, which is why sometimes we'll get people that say, no, I can't afford that. Which is fine, whatever. You're not going to worry about anybody else's finances. That's ridiculously rude to worry about somebody else's finances. But if it deals with legal implications and could come back on you, not gonna do it. Not gonna do that kind of reading. And they will respect, the right people will respect your honesty if you say, no, I can't do that. Because I care enough about you that I don't want to promise you something that I can't deliver. You know? Brenda, hate love rings. Okay, so that would be your boundary. If they come up to you and say, I want a love reading, tell them, you know what, I am very sorry, but I don't do love readings. Okay? But because you have purchased your reading, I would love to be able to give you one anyway over any other area of your life. Cool. Let's see. Pamela says, they will most likely respect your honesty too. Yep, absolutely. If they don't, then bye. Bye! Oh, Heidi, I just realized I was supposed to tag you. I apologize, hon. That was the frowny face. My bad. I was supposed to tag you for that. I just realized. It came in so late. Okay. Here's another one. How to flip this around. Telling people that you don't want to answer any more of their questions. Okay, so this happens a lot of the times on places where people can ask follow-up questions. This is how you get people at 3 a.m. asking a billion follow-up questions to their readings. Perfect boundary to set for this, limit how many they can ask you. You can ask up to 2 follow-up questions during my business hours. Okay, you set that brick wall. Past that point, you say, you know what? I would love to help you with that. However, you need to grab another reading. Would you like the link? No, don't even ask. Would you like the link? Here's the link to where you can go book it. This is where you start to feel like a biz bitch, okay? This is where you start to feel egotistical and high and mighty. Where you're like, nope, I can't help you. However, if you buy another reading, I'll go ahead and help you. This is where you start to feel it. And I promise you, you're not. And the people who react negatively to this stuff, they're not your ideal client. Whether you're doing this for free or not. They're not ideal for you. You are perfectly valid for saying, you know what, I'm not answering any more of your questions. I'm busy. I have a lot of things to do. And if you if you have somebody say, why won't you answer any more of my stuff? Or they start to get a negative reaction. Here's an example of what you could say. This is the one that I've said recently. You know what? I will limit you to bi-weekly readings, and you get 2 follow-up questions after the readings. And the reason that it's this way, this also goes for the price. This is an example of what you can say for price. The reason that is this way is not because of any personal issue. However, because I have incredibly limited time and I have a lot of appointments to deal with. For me, I have classes that I will be running, and I have programs that I am putting on and a lot of students to manage. I need to make sure that I am giving the best support available that I can for everyone. And for me to do this kind of package with you or this reading with you, I am limiting the amount of support I can give in order to give you quality, right? So that's an example, long-winded example, but that's an example of what to give. That's still very professional, and I'm not, it's setting that brick wall. It's giving them a reason. It's not because I don't like you. It might be because I don't like you, but it's not because of anything super personal. It's because my time is very valuable. And this goes even for if I have people in the middle of the night that want me to do readings on the weekends or want me to do coaching sessions on the weekends. I'm sorry, not doing it. And they ask me why. Well, you know what? It's my personal time, which is very true. Saturdays are my hubby's days to go do what he wants to do. Sundays are mine. I don't like working on Sundays. If I have to, I will, but it's going to be local. It's not going to be online. And every day I end my work day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at 1 o'clock. Why? That's nap time. My daughter comes in here because we share a room and that's where my office is. She comes in here and gets on her bed and it's 1 o'clock. It's time for her to go to sleep. Okay. And I don't want a creaky toddler, so I'm getting off of work. So those are my boundaries. And you can be very honest and straight up about that. And it will make you feel like a bitch. It'll hurt. Your heart chakra will be like, ooh, I don't like this. Your solar plexus will get all churny. You'll probably have to run to the bathroom because you had a breakthrough. And your body likes to purge crap when that happens. And that is okay. But set that wall and you will be okay. Let's see. There's a rebay. I hope so. No biggie. Yep, there's replays. I will let you know if there's no replay. Let's see. Megan says, yes. Yes. I love it. Melissa says, I agree. We have the right to protect our energy. Yes. Hello, Melissa. I hope you're doing fabulous today. Thank you so much for coming in. Heidi says, I want a nap time too. Right? I have a coach that she starts her workday when she feels like it. And in between her tasks, maybe she'll take a nap. Maybe she'll go for a walk. Maybe she'll go get Starbucks. She doesn't know what she's doing that day. Excuse me. She's very good with the flow with it. However, you know what day she's working. And she doesn't work past a certain time. She sets her vacation days first. Then she schedules her readings and, not readings, she sets her coaching sessions and appointments and programs around that. The way that I have set up the academy, the Crone Academy, the semester for starting next month, I have made it so every 2 or 3 weeks we either have off or we have a Q&A section. Why? Holidays. I've got birthdays to go to. So I am forcing myself, a part of my new boundaries, to take a break for a week. And everybody else can take a break at the same time. Okay? So, and if that's your reason, cool. No one is going to get mad at you for saying, you know what, I'm taking the day off because I have a birthday to go to. Because it's your business. And if they do get mad at you, they're not your client. They're not your ideal client. Hi, Wendy. Hope you're doing fabulous. Let's do some more. We're doing really, really good. I like the vibe of this. We're really, I feel like, crushing some myths about boundaries here. I love this so much. Here's another issue. Telling friends, family, colleagues that you won't give them free readings just because you know them. That one's rough, right? But think about it this way. If it's coming from a family member, I love my family, but sometimes I don't value it as much. Setting my boundaries. Hold up. Hey there. I'm in the middle of a workshop. Give me a minute. Heart. I love you. I'm not going to name the person, but I love you, but I'm in the middle of something. Okay. Telling your friends and family and colleagues, people that you've met in your area, things like that, that you won't give them free stuff, you won't give them free coaching, that kind of thing, is setting a wall. Okay. They need to pay for your time. I get it. We love our family. We love the people around us. However, because they love you, I feel like they should respect you even more. Okay? There's a difference if you volunteer it and you put that volunteer time on your taxes. Okay? There's a difference with that. If you are doing nothing but free readings right now because you do not feel confident enough for you to go through and do readings for a living or even want a business, that's on you. However, you still need to have those boundaries of, I'm not doing this in the middle of the night. I'm not doing this when you're drunk or high or whatever your boundaries are. Or I'm not going to do this on certain questions because I know how you are. Or I don't particularly like doing those questions. That's okay. That's totally fine. Okay? But as your family and your friends and stuff like that, they need to respect that boundary. It doesn't make you a bitch. It just means that you're busy. It means that you value your energy, right? And that's another good one, Melissa. People usually don't value free things. Example for this, my grandmother will go walk around Sam's Club. Big warehouse. They sell wholesale stuff, mainly for business owners. She'll go walk around there and have lunch because of all the free things that they have. Won't buy nothing, but she'll go have that. Go have free samples for lunch. People don't value it. In fact, they grab the free sample and run because they don't want to pay attention to your pitch, right? That's why it's a horrible strategy if you want to get started in your tarot reading business or any kind of business to give away things for free and then hope that they buy from you. This is why I don't like, you know what? Unpopular opinion. There are some groups here on Facebook that get mad at business owners for saying that they want a review or a testimonial, a donation, or a payment for their stuff. I'm not that kind of group owner. In fact, I demand that you do that. We are not doing free readings here without some kind of equal energy exchange because I want to get you in that habit of demanding that of your boundaries. We set that boundary. I don't care what you're selling. You could sell me amethyst dildos. I don't care, but I'm not gonna get a free one from you because I'm wondering who else used the free sample. I don't want a free live stream reading from you. In fact, if you share those in this group, I delete it and I give you a warning, and if you do it again, I remove you from the group. I don't want you to do that. I really suggest that if you come into this space, you are asking for equal energy exchange. Okay? If you want to have a live, go ahead and add a link to where they can opt in with you. Okay? Go ahead and do it. It's at the dildo part. It's very honest, though. Like, wouldn't you think about that kind of stuff? Like, I don't want that. Like, I'm all about sisterly love, but I'm not including you in my energy in that kind of way. But it's like, if you don't get really clear about that kind of boundary for yourself, right? Then it's just like, you can come in and do this at any time. People don't like free samples. They love free samples, but they don't think about the fact that it's not free for you. Right? You're giving up your time, your energy, or your money, right? Nothing is ever free. We have to spend something, whether that's time or money. The more experienced you are in your business, it's going to be money, paying someone else to do that for you. If you're brand new, it's going to be time. This is why managing your time is going to be so important, because then it makes it incredibly valuable. If you have not done it yet, go look at the 10-tail curtain time management and money mindset challenge that we did. Because that one, I feel like, woke up a lot of people about how much time, like, if they waste an hour scrolling through stuff on Facebook instead of working on their business, how much money they've wasted. That's how come I also hit you with that industry standard that you need to be charging at least $1.99 a minute. Because it can, when you hear that, you think of, oh my God, all the time I've wasted. And that wall comes up and you get that boundary going, right? Let me see. Megan, example of boundaries. Yes. Let's see. Heidi, wow, people can at least give a testimonial. Bull. Yeah, I saw that the other day and it made me mad. I'm not going to name the group, but it made me mad. I went and blabbed to my coach about it. It made me very mad. And she's like, yes, be mad. Example of what you don't want. That's how come this space, business owners are very safe. Okay? That's my goal. Be very safe in this space. Just contribute and nurture and talk to everybody. Don't just post something. Say why you're doing it. Like, if you want us to buy something for you, then, like, then at least do something, right? Love the comment. Yes, it's true though. Heidi, who would put polished stones there? I hope they're polished beyond silk. Oh, maybe someone likes the rough stones. You never know. People have been into weirder things. Oh my God. Oh my God. I spend too much time with my husband. I don't know why that came in my fucking head. Okay. Oh, but I hope that drove the point home for you. Okay. Here's another one for you. That could be a little bit hard, right? Telling people your prices and then having to defend it. We've kind of talked about this a little bit already. They make stones for that. Yes, they do. There's an app for that and there's a stone for that. Oh, my brain now. So, we've talked about this a little bit, where if you tell somebody your prices and then you have to defend them, right? You can mention the industry standard, how much you're charging per minute, how much it is. I know some very successful readers that make a living off of what they do based on their industry standard price. Like, that's what they do. And they value their time very, very highly because they're fucking busy. And there are plenty of people in the world who will pay that price because they know what they're getting is valuable, right? So, and a part of this is not giving in to the discounts because someone questions it, okay? You can tell them, you know what, yeah, I've recently raised my prices because I've realized that my energy is important, you know? Or straight up, if you don't want to give them a reason, it's like, yeah, that's the price. So if someone says, wow, that's a lot. So yeah, you can work them through that objection, and we're going to get to that. Working through that objection with them. However, I don't want you to go into I would hope that you don't go into immediate defensive mode and try to give them a discount or let them go through with assuming that you'll give them one because you know them or they've worked with you for a while, that kind of thing, right? If they have been really good in their energy and you suggest it, feel free. If you want to run a little promotion, you can run a Black Friday sale or a Valentine's sale or something like that. However, I don't want that to be a habit for you. Because when you do sales like that or give discounts out of desperation, people can tell that it's a desperation thing. And when you mark it down super low, so low that it's under industry standard, what are they going to think of? What's wrong with it? Like the dildo. Okay? So let's not make your readings amethyst dildos. Let's make them valuable and priced the way that they're supposed to be. So if someone comes along and questions it, you know how to deal with that objection. However, you don't cave into it. You stand your ground. Oh yeah, yoni eggs. Yep. Didn't get it for that purpose. But yeah. That's what you were talking about, Lynn. Okay. I thought you were talking to like root or like root chakra, sacral chakra ones. I guess that's one way to realign. We gotta move away from that. I'm gonna be giggling the rest of the time. Okay. Here's another one that you might have issues with. Giving refunds, especially when it comes to clients who were hard to read for and refuse to believe that you were right. And they only want the refund because they don't like what you gave them. Like I said, I don't give refunds for any of my stuff, whether that is a reading or a coaching thing. Why? Because a lot of my stuff is time-based. I'm giving you my time. I'm giving you a service. And a lot of the times, I'm giving you a video or a PDF or a recording, a meditation, something that I can't get back. I've given you the link to it. You have it. I can't get that back. So be like any other thing where if it's a download or a service, you can't get your hair back after they've cut it off, right? You can't do that. You just can't, unless you get some glue and like put it back on your head, but then you're gonna look like an idiot, right? So you can't. I highly suggest that if you're trying to give refunds now, at least like maybe 50% minimum. Minimum in the sense of that, no, 50% maximum that you are giving. I'd say more 25 to 10%, or none at all. I give a disclaimer on all of my stuff. I am not giving you a refund. And the reason being, you cannot get any of the content back. You could have downloaded all my stuff, gotten all the links to my YouTube videos for my courses and stuff, and I'm never going to get that back. You're not going to get my time back. I will take back what I can, like group support or one-on-one support, access to my free community, stuff like that. But besides that, I can't get everything that I gave you back. So I'm not giving refunds because you still have my product and you have my time that I gave you. And you're not going to forget the words that I told you or the help that I gave you. And I'm not going to get that back either. So no refunds. That's me. Okay. If you don't feel comfortable with that and you feel like you just want to make them a little happy, maybe give them 25% or 50% max. Besides that, I would really discourage you from refunds because you're not getting any of it back. And if the reason is just because it did not resonate with them, well, I'm sorry, but a bowl cut does not resonate with my head. But if I told the barber to put it on my head, that's my fault. Or if you're going to be that person to try and trick somebody on a reading, that's not my fault. You paid for it. If you wanted an honest reading, you should have told me your honest information because I honestly do want to help you. Not your fault. Not going to worry about it, right? So, and if the client is hard to read for, you're welcome at any point to say, you know what? I can't read you. There's a wall up, so I don't feel like going through with this. And that would probably be the only time I would give a refund back because I'm not wasting my time anymore and struggling myself through an entire session just because I need the money. I'm not going to put myself to that level. And that is something that you would have to work out by yourself, right? But usually when someone asks for a refund, I tell them no. Or I say, okay, as a one-time courtesy, but this is all that you're losing. And then after that, they don't want to do the refund anymore because they realize they're losing a lot more than all the things that I could give them, right? Or that I have given them. Let's see. Heidi says, I'm so going to be thinking about stone dildos all day now. You're going to go Google it. You're going to go Google it. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes up. Angela says, the industry standard is $1.99 a minute. Yep, I said that. Yep, I said that. That's industry standard. Lowest, right? We covered that a little bit earlier. Heidi says, I'm sure that's a bad thing. I'm not sure that's a bad thing. Yeah, it's really not. Angela said, do you state that up front? No refunds? Yep, I have a little policy down at the bottom of my stuff. Or if you don't want to put it on the bottom of a page or something, have a link for it on your website. Have a page for it. That's actually by law. You need to have that on your website to say whether or not you're giving refunds, what you're doing with their information, stuff like that. I make sure to put it. Actually, I'll straight up read you what my terms are. I can tell you. bit.ly/CA membership. Yep. I'm going to go to the one that I have for my maidens. And actually, this is for everybody that is a part of the academy. They adhere to my refund policy. Okay? So, Facebook groups are mandatory. Refund policy: by submitting payment, you agree to our terms and conditions that are available on the website, and I give a link, that refunds or cancellations are not possible due to the nature of the digital content. Once in the Crone Academy, insert level here, croneacademy.com, you will have access to private, confidential, insider, and trade secret information. All sales are final. Done. And then I go into talking about if there's delinquency and late payments and what I will do. So, that is something I put up front. Always put that up front. And if they mention it and you have not said it up front, at least have a page where they can go and read more about it. That is something very easy to generate online about refunds. Heidi glues hair back on. Oh, please, honey, no. Please don't. Megan says, amen, my time is sacred, life is short. Yes. Add that emoji there. Money is replaceable, time is not. There is an infinite amount of money in the world. If they want the money back, they can go find it. That's a really bitchy way to say that. But to be very honest, just no, not doing it. Angela says, sweet. Yep. Have it up front. And if they don't read it, that's their problem. But I will happily remind them if they ask me about it. Another one, allowing yourself to have a break when you're drained. That's a really important boundary that you really need to work on. There are some days I wake up and I'm like, when do I have appointments today? If I have no appointments that day, but the reason, okay, first off, backtrack a little. This is my thought process. I am assuming that you are playing to your strengths and you have completed all of your to-do lists when it comes to this kind of stuff. Completed all your 3 to 5 tasks every day that will get you closer to meeting your income goals. I am assuming that when I'm talking about this is what you've done. For me, I play to my strengths. The way that I move through information is like that. I'm a double Taurus, but I've got my Mercury in Gemini. So me, I receive information and I quickly do it. Even though my headline is almost all the way across my hand, it's probably because I've been thinking about this for forever, but the way that I act is very quick. I have no knobs on my fingers. As soon as I get the thought and I know that it's worked good and I've thought my through it, boom, manifestation, I go do it. And the problem is I work through things so fast that in school, I would be the one to finish 2 hours worth of work in 15 minutes and I'd sit there and read the rest of the time and I'd get in trouble with the teacher because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be, but I've finished it. That's my problem with coaches. If I'm not one-on-one with someone and I'm in a group program, I get through the information so fast and I go apply it. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm waiting for it to work. So, when it comes to having a break, sometimes there'll be mornings where I wake up and I'm like, what do I have to do today? If I have done everything for the day, or if I'm just doing busy work and I have no appointments, I tell my husband, you know what? Why don't we go have breakfast? Because by the time we go have breakfast and we come home, it's going to be time for my daughter's nap. And then we can just have the day together. Or if I have dealt with a particularly disappointing day, or my depression is hitting in, and I am just crying all day, and I'm done my tasks, even if I haven't done my tasks and just energetically I feel like I can't do it anymore, I will turn off for the day. I only work 4 hours a day anyway, but if I feel like my body can't take it today, and I am just weepy, or I'm exhausted and I just can't do this, I'll turn it off and I'll go lay down. The bed's right there. I'll go lay down. And I will let everybody know that tries to message me, you know what, I am taking the rest of the day off. I'm not having a good day today. And they'll send me their well wishes, and then I'll say thank you, and then I'll leave it at that. I will go do something else. And that is perfectly allowed. If you are doing everything that you can, you have completed your money-generating tasks, you have done your schedule, all you're doing is busy work at this point, go take a break. Let yourself take a break. If you have been working your ass off and you severely need a pedicure and you've got the money for it, go let yourself have a pedicure. If you can't sit in the house right now and work, go on. Go out to somewhere else. Maybe go to the park and work for the day, or do something along those lines. But if you don't allow yourself to have a break when you're drained, or let yourself get up from the chair and go get yourself a snack, or let yourself have something nearby, there's a problem. We need to really work on your root. We really need to nurture you, right? So, I want you to start doing that if you're not letting yourself do it, okay? Let's see. Another one, committing. This one's really hard for boundaries because this is an issue with yourself. Committing to quitting your flashcards, okay? So no more memorization, doing a reading without your flashcards nearby or your notes, or your day job if you're trying to do a business, so you can finally do readings with confidence and or do them full time. This can be hard, especially if you don't like change, if you're terrified of being able to make your bills every month. Usually, we want to do things slow, right? We want to build up client bases and income while we're still working the 9 to 5, and then we quit the 9 to 5. I've been there. And same thing with cards. I walked around the book. Every card I pulled out the book to make sure that I was still on point. I get it. I'm skipping. Can you guys see and hear me okay? Let me know if you can. I'm gonna refresh the page. Maybe it's just skipping up here. Okay, let me know if it's good. But I've been here with this. There's a confidence thing here, and it makes it really, really hard, right? It makes it hard to trust yourself and to go through with things. However, if you don't do it, it becomes a crutch. It doesn't allow your confidence to flourish. I'm not that kind of person that says no pain, no gain. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say more of, if you allow yourself to still wear the water wings, how do you know you're going to be able to float on your own? Yeah. Sometimes that means literally jumping into the pool and just getting it over with. Get in the water. I know it's cold, but you just need to do it. Just do it already. And I get it. It's really nerve-wracking and it's really, really hard. Being a business owner, you're a little bit nuts. Your line of eccentricity is a little long. Like, you're a little flexible, right? This is a little too wide of an angle. That's okay. However, the only way that you're going to make it is if you actually start doing it. If you just commit yourself to it, because nothing puts more skin in the game than you having no other option for income, right? Or if you're a reader, nothing is going to put your skin in the game more than turning off the books, like turning off the computer and not going on other people's websites to look at stuff. Yeah, it's skipping a little bit. Let me see. Okay, you guys can see and hear me. Okay, cool. If you don't put the books down and stop buying them, quit buying new books. Every book is going to tell you something different because tarot is very subjective. Unless you were using a divination system that is more strict, like palmistry or pendulums or tea leaves and things like that, that once you have that meaning, that is what the meaning is. It's too subjective. Like, you're going to be exploring for forever, studying other people's stuff. And if you want to be the studier for the rest of your life, cool, go for it. But the best teacher is just doing it, right? And every teacher is going to teach you how to do it differently. That's how come I like just teaching you how to do it intuitively the way that I learned, which is paying attention to the clothing, to the fabrics, to the colors, to the staging. I'm bringing my theater in. You're looking at it like it's a play. Like, you are a director and you are looking at it and you are in The Sims and it is a God's eye view down on the world, okay? That is how we are looking at it. So we're going to pay attention to body positions. We're going to pay attention to who's looking where. We're going to pay attention to the colors and the symbols and things like that, because all of that matters more than what the 50 books you have on your shelf say. Okay? I get a little ranty about this. Same thing with your business. Every business teacher is going to teach you how to do something differently. And that's not your fault. It's the people you resonate with and that speak something true to you and that really ring true to you that are going to help you the most. And if all that I say resonates with you, cool. Welcome. I'll happily have you as a student. Like, I'll do the happy dance for you when you succeed. I'll hop on a call with you. I'll be here to support you. If I don't resonate with you, cool. That's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. I'm annoying. Like, whatever. But find somebody that does, or just start figuring it out. Okay? All these other teachers are teaching you is what to do based off of the mistakes that they've made. So, allow yourself to quit using flashcards. If you're trying to intuitively read. Allow yourself to step away from the book. Allow yourself to just give in and quit the job and put your skin in a game and just start. If you can't quit immediately, then put it in your mind a date that you are going to have, like, you are going to be doing your stuff full time. And get your stuff in place. Get your foundation in place. Even if that's not clients yet, at least figure out who you want to help, what kind of offers you're going to build, and then when that date comes, hit the ground running and start nurturing and building relationships. That's all you got to do. But the longer that you allow fear to stop you, the longer it's going to take for you to start stuff. And the only person who's going to be dissatisfied about it is you. That's really harsh in the way that I'm going to tell you that. But you got to put that boundary up of just committing. Just do it. It is much scarier standing from the edge of the pool and looking at how potentially deep that water could be than just jumping in and getting over how cold it is, opening up your eyes because I know it burns, and then just being there, right? It's going to feel better the longer that you're in the water. Just saying. Okay. Yes, cool. Back. I can't type. You're all good. Megan says, blind faith is necessary. Scary, but necessary. Yes. Just try, okay? Something else here. Consistency is a whole part of that. Here's another one that was a boundary for me that I had to figure out. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do here. Allowing yourself to receive gifts or thank you notes from clients. I was brand new to this. I had a client message me and was like, I want to buy you something. Pick one of these things. And I'm like, okay. And I messaged my coach and I was like, I don't know what to do. She wants to buy me something. And she's like, oh, just let her do it. Like, it did. That's her way of saying thank you. Because I'm used to, if I give you a gift, I have to give you something back. I'm used to having to do that equal energy exchange, or if I give you a gift, I owe you something. But that's the thing, it's a gift. Some clients are so appreciative of your stuff, they want to do that. They want to send you something. I got Christmas presents and a Christmas card from some of my clients this year. And I loved it. I said, thank you so much. Like, you're the awesome. Like, you're the knees of the bees. You were fantastic. And it made my day, right? Some clients want to do that. It's a little memento. And it makes you, at first it might make you feel awkward, but that's okay. That is you growing. This is someone whose life you've touched. This is someone who cares about you because, again, you know their energy on an intimate level. You have helped them through a lot of personal blocks. Some they might not even tell you about. And everything they invest in you, whether that's time or money, and they show up and they commit and they're really great for you, no matter what they do, you're a part of their life. You are a part of their story. You have impacted them. Your character arc in your own story of your own life would be completely different if you were gone. or their character arc would be different. They wouldn't have gone through the same changes that you have. Okay? Their life is contiguous. We talked about contiguous plot structures last week when we were doing the copywriting like a boss workshop. They will never be the same because of you. And if they want to give you a gift, it's in such an impactful way. In such a very kind way. You've given them something amazing. And they want to see you happy on all levels. So let them give it to you. It's very hard. It can be very hard at first. But it's a nice little lesson in learning how to receive. Okay? And if you have a hard time with this, easy ways that you can learn how to receive. Let the dude at the grocery store help you put your stuff in the car. And don't touch anything. Just let him put it in the car. It's his job. They offered it. Accept the gift. If your family wants to help you with money, don't refuse. Just take it. Family likes to do this with food. Have you eaten today? And if you're hungry, say you're hungry. If you have to go to the bathroom, ask them, hey, is it okay if I use your bathroom? That's okay. Like, you are the guest. Go ahead and do that. And if they have an issue with it, they will straight up tell you because you're in their domain, in their house, right? So that's okay. Go for it. Let's see. Oh, how sweet. Yes, please. Yeah. Just work on it. Like, that's something little to work on. Another one that can be really hard, allowing yourself to have a coach, mentor, or someone to talk about for your practice or your business. Now, I don't care if it's me. If it's me, cool. Shoot me a message. I'll be happy to work with you. If it's somebody else, cool. I'm just saying, sometimes you need to have somebody to help you. Okay? You need someone to bounce those ideas off of. You say things out loud and you kind of get a new understanding of it, right? You get a new appreciation because you've invested in something. Because if you're not investing in your practice or in your business, the way I look at it is, how can I expect someone else to do that for me? If I'm not investing in a coach, how can I be a coach for somebody else? I haven't seen how coaching works. I haven't seen how getting a reading works if I haven't done it myself, right? Then you're in that deer in headlights moment of, I don't know what to do, and this is really real. You need to invest in something. If you want to do discovery calls, start signing up for some discovery calls for market research. Don't do it to the point where you're just doing that and screwing people over. Actually do it with people you resonate with, that you might be interested in buying. Like, this past Sunday, I had a session with somebody that I know is going to be my next coach. And I'm looking forward to shooting her a message and being like, hey, I bought your thing. Like, let's book our first session. I bought the thing. So you need to allow yourself to have help. I don't want to just say the United States. I feel like everyone in the world does this. They feel like they have to be superheroes on their own. That they have to do everything perfect by themselves. I know I get that way. I have an issue with control. But the vision that I have for my business includes me being a badass director. And what does being a director mean? Having my stage manager or my assistant that works with me every step of the way. And they manage people under them. And they manage people under them. And it creates the whole show that is my business. Right? So, if I can't do that, like if I want that, then I need some help along the way. People who have teams. So I need to talk to them. If I want to be a coach and be amazing and run this fantastic school, which I really love and I've put a lot of work in, how can I expect to do that if I have not invested in anybody myself? If I have not been a part of online schools or been a part of masterminds and programs and been on retreats, I need to experience those for myself so that other people, you're walking your walk and talking your talk. Like, you talk the walk that you're talking about, right? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Megan says, I did a reading regarding starting my career reading tarot, and what you need card was the Three of Pentacles. I need someone to collaborate with. Yes! If you have this vision of helping other people collaborate with each other, you need to collaborate with some people too. If you want to do group programs, do group programs, right? Like, work with them. just make it really good. And experience it for yourself, because then you actually know what you're talking about. You've experienced it yourself. I hate, though, I don't want to say hate. I severely dislike those teachers that suggest that you do something and then they never did it themselves. That are teaching tarot and they've never done it themselves. Or that want you to make a multi-figure business and they're not on their way there and haven't gone through the trials and tribulations that you're going through. Or at least working with somebody or know the steps to get you there, even if they have not experienced it themselves, right? If you don't know what you're talking about, it makes it really hard, right? So I would really encourage you. That's going to help build the confidence and help you put yourself first and create a beautiful boundary in how you can help someone if you can experience it yourself. You know? See, I so resonate. Yay! You're awesome, Megan. I'm so glad that you hopped on the live. So, that was a long list, right? So, a lot of these deal with objections, right? So, how can we handle some of these objections? So, this is the third part. We've talked about how to identify if you have boundary issues. And now we just walk through a lot of examples. So how can you move past some of these common objections? The most common objections that you have for why people can't work with you is I can't afford it. I need to talk to somebody else, so I need to talk to my partner about it. And I need to think about it. Okay? And there's a reason why they say each of these. And this is how I go ahead and I shift it. Okay? I'm going to give you some examples. So, if they say they can't afford it, or I don't have the money right now, or something like that, you can talk about this in a couple of ways. And this is going to be your version. You're going to figure out how to word this in your own way. This is just how I do it. So one is, can you literally not afford it? Can you not get food on your table right now? Or do you not have the money for this? Because if you really want to do this, and you just don't have physically the money on you, I can help you come up with 5 or 10 ways to do this. And that's what I do. Sit down and come up with 5 or 10 ways to figure this out. Usually, especially if my mother's an up, it's about, let's tweak your price. I'm going to tell you how many people you need, how many people you need to go talk to, and how many people that is over the next 30 days for you to come on in. Very easy, right? If you don't want to work with me, that's one thing. Okay? Straight up, because most of the time people will say they can't afford it because they don't want to hurt your feelings. And that's okay. They're trying to be nice. They don't want to hurt your feelings. However, then you get that little pill of resentment if you're friends with them on Facebook or wherever you see them, and you see them go to a concert after that. Or go get their nails done. Or go to Olive Garden with like 8 people, and we know that is at least $100 ticket. So, you can straight up ask them, I respect that. Can I ask you a question? If they say yes, can you literally not make ends meet right now? Or do you just not have the money for this offer? If you don't want it, cool. It was just an invitation. If you do want it, I want to help you. And I want to help you make ends meet. Cool. You've offered to help. You're already working with them, right? Now, if you're a reader, this is a little different. So this is what you could do. Here's another option. So sometimes if people say that they can't afford it, they're afraid that they're not going to be able to show up or they're not going to like what they hear, right? Or that you can't help them and you're not the right reader for them. So you want to clarify that. You might say, hey, Billy Bob, I appreciate you letting me know that. Can I ask you a question? Wait for Billy Bob to answer. Say, okay, sometimes when people say this for me, if they can't afford or if they don't have the money for my readings, it's because of one or two things. One, they don't believe or trust in themselves that they will like the answer that they hear because there's a fear there. Or two, they don't believe that I'm the right reader for them. And that our energies will not mesh. Do either of these ring true for you? If the answer is yes to one of those questions, then you can help them work through it. If they say no to both of them, they're not an ideal client. Don't waste your time anymore. It's like, okay, I just wanted to check. I hope you have an awesome day. Bum. Not an ideal client, right? let's see. So does that make sense? This is a technique mainly for your coaches. Okay. My makers, it's more like, do you not have money to show up and actually pay your bills? Or do you just not have the money for this? That's mainly the one that you'd use. My readers, you'd use the second option, where it's like, do you feel like you aren't going to like the answer? Or do you not feel like I'm the right person for you? And you'd figure it out from there. That's a really wonderful way to work with that money objection, right? Let's see, Megan says, it was meant to be. Yay! Heidi says, makes sense. Awesome. So that's one way to go through it. And the key about all of these, by the way, is no matter what your offer is, again, whether you're free or paid, you are just extending an invitation to somebody. If they don't RSVP to go to your birthday, whatever, it's your party. You can either cry or you can party your ass off. Either one. It's the same thing. You can invite them to have a party with you and bust through their blocks or do a reading or have an amazing product sent to their door or to coach with them for a few months. They don't accept it. That's theirs. You're like, cool, it's fine. It was just an invitation. No worries. And that does not mean that, especially if they say that they just don't have the money for it right now, but they would love some ideas to come up with it, that they will not come back and invest in you. It might be a month, a couple months, or maybe a few years later. They will come back and do it. Okay? They will figure it out. The next one, I need to talk to somebody else. So they need to go ask their partner. Maybe they're in a relationship where they just need to go ahead and chat with their partner. Make sure before you're done talking with them that they know they really want to have it. That they want to have your reading or their product or something like that. If they're feeling iffy, then it's not going to turn into a yes when they come back. If they come back, okay? If they're interested in doing this, then you can do this a couple of different ways. You could ask them, hey, are you just worried about your partner not supporting you in this? Or do you just need to let them know that this is what you're going to do? If you feel like it's the first one, you can give the offer, especially my coaches, you can give the offer of, well, if you would like, I'd be more than happy to hop on a call with both you and your partner. That's new. Like, someone will hop on with me and my husband and answer his questions. Okay. This person's kind of awesome, right? If you offer that as a coach, then you'll be really, really good. My healers and my readers, it's more going to be like, I just want to make sure that you feel like you have all of your questions answered first, because if they don't have their questions answered, how are they going to go to their spouse and answer the questions they have, right? So you want to make sure you're really clear on how you can help these people. My makers that make your physical products, make sure they have a link to where they can go look at your product, have some really nice pictures up there, have a great description, maybe shipping, stuff like that, and they'll be fine, right? So that's the second one. That one's not as often as the first one. I hear the first one a lot, but the second one is okay. The third one, I need to think about it. Sometimes people just need to think about it. So this means, if you hear this, that they still have questions, or they're still feeling iffy, they might have some fears around this, stuff like this, or they don't see the value or the urgency. So this is what you want to ask them. It's like, hey, do you have any other questions then if you need to think about it? What's running on in your head? I ask that question a lot. So people's like, okay, especially if they're quiet, I'll say, okay, what you thinking about? What's running through your head? Even during a coaching session or a VIP session, I say, okay. And if it's been a second, I'm like, okay, so what you thinking about? How are you feeling? Let me know what's happening, because I like questions. Ask me questions, right? So if you feel like you've answered all you can, but they just need a little time to think, set up a day where you guys can go ahead and talk about it. Say, hey, so how about I check in on you in a few days, see if you have any questions, because question always pops up after we're done, or after you've gone away for a little bit. But my inbox is open if you want to message me in between, but I feel like I'm going to reach out to you by Friday. That's usually what I do. I reach out to them by Friday. Give them a week or give them a couple of days, right? Or set up another day or time to talk about it further if it's on a call. Does that make sense? Let me know if you understand these as some examples on how to move past this stuff. Because once you figure out your boundaries and how to nurturingly and wholeheartedly talk to someone about theirs and where they're having issues, it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to do your free readings, and it's going to be a whole lot easier for you to go ahead and start getting equal energy exchange, either as testimonials, reviews, donations, or actually starting your business and getting some money, right? Yes, understand. Awesome sauce. So, do you guys have any questions? Because we went through a lot of stuff. We've been talking for like 2 hours. I've been talking for 2 hours, but we've been at this for like a couple hours, and this was really, really good. Let me know if you have questions, and let me know what you're thinking through for this. And the best way to go through all of this is just application. The more that you are presented with stuff and objections and issues with boundaries, and the more you practice yourself with them, the better it'll be, right? And the more you'll be able to stand fast to your stuff. And if you're all good, just give me hearts or likes. And of course, if you're watching the replay, seriously, pop questions down below. I will come back through and answer them. Yeah. And let me know how it works. Megan, how do I get into the academy? How does that work? That's a really wonderful question. So, right now, the enrollment for the academy is open. Let me grab the link. The best way is first figure out where you're at. If you're a maiden, a mother, or a crone, or if you're a dude, you would correspond to those things, but I'd have a different name for you, right? You'd be my gentlemen, my fathers, and my sages. So first off, figure out which one you're at. There's a cool little quiz that you can figure out right here on the Crone Academy website that you can go ahead and take. And whichever one that you are the majority for, that's the one you are. Then, if you're feeling really good, you know what kind of level that you're at, and if you have any extra questions, and you know whether the academy is right for you, I invite you to either shoot me a message through Messenger or to book a call with me, and we will talk one-on-one over Zoom. And you will talk to my face. It's gonna be me. Or if we're on Messenger, I'll go ahead and just shoot you a message. And we will chat about it. I had all of the information up on this page, but I thought it was really overwhelming. I feel like it's better if you go ahead and talk to me. Every level offers a different amount of support. There's payment plans for each of them. So if you're super interested in it and you really want to talk to me about it, go ahead and shoot me a message or book a call with me. You can do it right from the page that I popped in the chat. I resonate with Maiden. Cool. So if you like Megan, I can go ahead and shoot you a message. Yep, Maiden. Cool. I can message you and Heidi after this and let you guys know. I can talk to you about it. I got a little PDF with some info that I can go ahead and send to you. Let's see, Lynn says, I'm starting to get boundaries in place, and this has helped me reinforce the need of how vital it is. Thank you. Absolutely. Cool. I will do that. I'm going to write this down. Message. Heidi. Heidi and Megan. I will do this. I can do that right after this. And worried about the money for it. Okay, so that's really wonderful. If you're worried about the money for it, right? So this is what you can do. There's a couple of things we could do here. Pop your offer here in the group, and I will help you tweak it and let you know how many people you need to go and talk to, or even just sell to, and book your calendar up with it over the next couple of days. That way you can afford it. too. If you have to have a custom payment plan, for example, if you can't do monthly, but you have to do bi-weekly, we can do that. Just shoot me a message and let me know that. My thing when it comes to the money for my stuff, as long as you keep me informed, I am the easiest person to get along with. Just come tell me. Any of the maidens and the mothers and the crones that I have in there already can tell you, as long as you tell me, I have no problem with it, right? You just gotta let me know. And if you feel like you missed the bucket on this one, which actually we're extending the enrollment for this until the end of next month. There's a little timer on the page saying that you only have a few days. You actually have more than that now. It's going to be until the end of, it's going to be until the beginning of April, and you'll just have to play catch up a little bit. If you feel like you have to miss out on this round, the way that I'm doing the academy now is this is not a one-off thing. If you can't do it this time, I look forward to seeing you in 6 months when you do it again, because this is going to be every 6 months the academy is going to open. The only difference is instead of having tarot for our divination, next time it might be different for my maidens. So that's something to think about as well. I could totally keep in touch about it. Cool. Yeah, pop it in the group, tell me, like shoot me a message and we will come up with a plan for you. Especially Heidi, I know that we have talked before about you getting a plan as well. So definitely let me know. Does anybody else have any other questions? Because these are really awesome. I'm more than happy to help you out. Let me see. Waiting for questions. If not, then that's cool. This has been a really cool workshop. I like talking about boundaries with you guys. It's been super flowing. Like, there's been so much stuff going on. But I really liked this talk. I feel like this was super in depth. And this one, I like this little setup that we've had for this month where we've had a new workshop every week. I feel like I've been giving you guys a lot of great info, things to think about and put into practice and things like that. Easy everyday kind of things, you know? Look forward to hearing from you. Absolutely. I'll shoot you a message after this is done. So since there's no questions, I hope everyone has a fantabulous day. I hope you have a fabulous week. I will be seeing you here next week. Let me see. I want to see what we're doing next week. I'm pretty sure we have another workshop next week. But I want to make sure. I'm checking in the events tab, which by the way, any events that we have in the group, I'll pop in the events tab. Because it's going to be my goal. I've really wanted it to be my goal that we do this. Yeah. So next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Okay, so Tuesday, February 26th at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. For my mothers and up, and even actually for my maidens, if you want to do free readings, we're going to be talking about setting the stage through soul branding. So I'm going to teach you as a director and a costumer and someone who's dealt with branding for shows, how I do my branding and how I have set everything up so that you know exactly what branding is, first of all. You are in love with the colors and the theme and everything that your reading practice and reading style and business stands for, and how you can use that to really give your own kind of unique spin on doing readings, your kind of signature style on it, and how to use that for a business in the future. So I'm really looking forward to that. I love talking about branding. We're going to talk about Pinterest boards and fabrics and colors. It's going to make the costumer set designer in me very, very happy. We might even talk about sound and touch and tastes and all kinds of stuff. It's going to be very imaginative, almost like the Create a Tarot Reading Persona workshop that's in the Academy Vault. It's going to be a little bit like that, but it's going to be so fun. I'm super excited for it. But that'll be here in the Facebook group. That's also going to be a free one. That's for next month. Not next month. That's for next week on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. And I hope everyone has a fantabulous day. I shall see you then.